Hi everyone, welcome to Location Lifestyle Living. I'm Craig Rosevear, and on today's show we've got something for everyone, including our open home of the week, our staff suburb of the week, and I'll chat to a local about why they love living there. Kim and Chris on the block will give us some great staging tips for selling your home. Naomi will talk to Matt about energy saving tips. Our Chippy Rowan will give you some expert advice, and so much more.
Joining me now is Mark Cantwell from PRD Nationwide, Newcastle and Lake Macquarie. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you very much, Naomi.
I tell you, we are in a pretty spectacular house right now.
Yeah, you can't get much further east than this. People say, I'd love to look at the ocean one day. Well, how would you like to actually feel the ocean? It's right there.
There's so much to see here. I reckon we're going to need to take a tour.
Yeah, let's go and have a look. I might just sell it to you by the end of the inspection.
You could. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, that's amazing view.
Well, yeah, this is as close as you want to be, really, because you're still set back and private.
Yeah. This
is your master bed, and you get to wake up to this view each day. Now, I know, Naomi, you're a big fan of his and hers robes.
Oh, now tell me the hers is on the side of the ensuite.
On the side of the ensuite, and it's much bigger.
You're right. It is.
There's the ensuite.
So I can literally stand in the shower, look at the horizon, and have the bigger robe.
And you won't want to leave. Want to go outside?
Absolutely.
So when people imagine, like, I want an amazing architectural beach home on the beach, this is pretty much what they imagine, right? Well, and there's entertaining on each level.
There's literally entertaining. I hear rumours there is entertaining upstairs.
That was my next surprise.
Oh, stop holding out on me. Let's go.
So this is the other wow area.
Oh, this was the secret you're wanting to show me. You have the gorgeous headland. You can see all the way up to Anzac Parade. You can see all through the city.
And you've got a really panoramic coastline because you're quite elevated here.
All right, let's go check out the family space. Now, Mark, this is literally the ultimate media and teenage retreat.
Yeah, it's fully soundproof. It's got all the hi-fi throughout. You just shut the kids away here and just let them go nuts.
And head to this outrageous space that's out here.
This is just an absolute feat of engineering and architecture.
And the craftsmanship that's gone into creating this, let alone the hero pieces. Yeah. It's absolutely outrageous. So we've seen like the parents area, we've seen this amazing living space. I hear there's a whole world of goodness downstairs.
I'll take you to the goodness.
Okay, let's go.
So Naomi, I want to show you a different kind of boardroom.
Okay.
Not an office boardroom.
Oh my gosh, that is sensational. It even has its own floor waist for when all the boards and wetsuits drip.
So, Naomi, what we've got here is a completely interchangeable guest area and master. We've got the kids' drum kit room here at the moment and then the guest room.
Which then means that if you have young kids, you can be down here with them.
On the same level during those wake-up nights, and then as you want to get separation, back to the top level.
Now, this is the ultimate team zone. They can even access it independently without anyone knowing.
From the back or the front. So that's maybe a later teen thing, but it's definitely catering for that.
I like it. Mark, another amazing low-maintenance outdoor area, even on the ground level. This whole house is connected with nature.
Yeah, almost no maintenance there with the AstroTurf. You can push this out and make this a bigger area if you want because the boundary is just a little bit back there.
Even closer to the beach.
Absolutely.
But one thing I did notice back here, even if the beach is closed, it's a swim-fit pool.
Yeah, it is. So it's like a treadmill, but a pool. So you're swimming against the current. It can be heated if you want.
All year round.
Absolutely. What excuse do you have now?
So this house is extraordinary. Really unique build, really unique location. Where are buyers coming from for this?
There's sort of two main streams we're seeing on these type of homes, Naomi. One of them is sort of those from Newcastle on the Grey to Hunter.
Okay.
That are just sort of progressing their way east towards the coast.
To the ocean.
And then there's this other market that's really emerging, and they're coming out of capital cities, predominantly Sydney and Melbourne. So they see a more relaxed lifestyle in Newcastle, World Heritage Surf Beach across the road. So there's a real lifestyle component plus plenty of employment here in Newcastle.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go and get this one sold.
Thanks, Naomi. It's only a matter of time.
Thanks, Mark. Now here's Craig.
Auctions play a major role in how properties are transacted throughout Australia. But have you ever wondered how they work? People often think auctions are stressful, but I've bought, sold, and I'm an auctioneer myself, so I do understand your situation. If you do intend to bid at auction, I'd recommend researching the market and go to a couple of other auctions in the neighbourhood just to see how things play out. And it's important to have a bidding strategy. However, one piece of advice I'd give you is to bid with confidence. To bid at auction in New South Wales, you do need to be registered and you will need some identification. The best thing is your driver's licence. If you are the successful purchaser, you will need to pay a deposit. Normally that's 10%. An auction gives you a defined date of offer and acceptance. You can plan your future based around knowing that you will buy or sell the home on a particular date. To sell at auction, you do need to have a reserve price. It's very important to listen to the market feedback when setting that reserve price for you to sell your home. Auctions also give you the benefit of an immediate exchange. Contracts are signed and it's time to pop the champagne. And remember guys, we're all there for one thing. We've got buyers who want to buy, sellers that want to sell, and we all want to move on to the next phase of our lives. Don't go anywhere. Location Lifestyle Living, we'll be right back after this break.
$10,000. Sir, are you sure? Sure. Man, welcome to Harl Street.
Welcome back to Location Lifestyle Living. With this beautiful beach, parks, cafes, restaurants and hotels, Merriweather is our star suburb of the week. It's got something for everyone. From young surfers to families and retirees, there's always something happening and with a great vibe and atmosphere. Joining me now is local legend and air race pilot Matt Hall. Matt, great to see you today.
Thanks, mate. It's good to be here.
What a fantastic year you've been having with the air racing.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the year. We're just trying to move forward one race at a time.
I often see you flying over Merriweather, you know, in your plane if it stands out a lot. And I think, you know, what are the things that you see up there that we don't see that you just love to tell people about?
Oh, it's an amazing place to fly. I have friends come from all over the world and come here to stay with us. And what I do is I chuck them in the plane and bring them up here so they can just see how amazing it is. And what most people don't realise about Merriweather and the beach is how clear the water is. You can look straight down, you can see the colour of the sand, and it's just the most picturesque place in the world to fly.
If you bring some people from out of town, where do you like to take them for like breakfast, lunch, dinner? Where are some of your favourite restaurants in Merriweather?
Well, there's quite a few. You know, it's one of those things that there's some obvious ones. You know, so there's Beaches Hotel. Then you can go to the Surf House or the Blue Door. They're right on the beach. Yeah. But there's also some really nice pubs that you have to go into the back streets of Merriweather to find. You know, you got the Burwood. You've got Mary Ellen. You've got any of those sort of pubs that they've really grown with the times and become the amazing restaurants with great service. You know, so you just can't stop feeding people when they're visiting.
So you're looking quite fit, Matt. Obviously that helps when you're in the air. Do you use Merriweather to exercise, to work out? What sort of places do you like to go to do that?
Yeah, I do need to stay fit, and nothing beats. I've got a dog, and I take her for a walk and a run down Scenic, and then all the way along the beach up to the Bar Beach car park and back again.
That's a good run.
Oh, it's amazing, you know. And then we might head down Hickson Street, or if I'm on my own, I'll head off the back there down to Burwood Beach, up and down the hill there. Yeah. And if I'm short of time and I want to do some, a bit of a harder workout, nothing beats the stairs.
Yeah,
you go down to Merriweather Baths, do a few laps there, and the recovery when you're walking back down the stairs, just looking at that view, it's just incredible.
Thanks, Matt. Great to talk to you. All the best for the year. Now here's Naomi.
Here with me now is Alicia from the Law Office of Conrad Curry. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So when someone's buying off the plan, it's a little different to buying an existing house. So can you tell me maybe what are the top 3 things that we need to think about when we're buying off the plan?
Certainly. Some of the risks include, firstly, delays in construction. The usual time frame of 1.5 years to 2 years can quickly exceed to 3 or 4 years.
So time delays is one of them. What else do I need to think about if I'm purchasing off plan?
So the end result may not be as advertised. Purchasers can be often dissatisfied with the functionality or appearance. It is important to keep in mind that developers can substitute items of a similar quality as to that specified in the contract. Buyers must be notified when a change is made, and if a substantial change is made, it may grant a right of rescission, including the removal of a car space or storage space. There is one other important point to note. There is often a shrinkage clause included in the contract which allows a developer to reduce the lot size by up to 5%. A good legal representative will ensure that this clause is deleted or the percentage is decreased.
What would be a third big thing I'd need to be looking for?
Developers are required to have home warranty insurance, which is a safeguard for purchasers. However, it is really important to note there are some exceptions to this rule.
Okay, what are some of those?
The main exception is if the development is over 3 stories and was or is constructed after 2003, developers are not required to have home warranty insurance.
Great advice. Now these 3 things we've been talking about, they may seem like they're a little bit negative. There's also a pile of positives to be involved in the amazing development movement that we have going on in Newcastle.
Absolutely. Buying off the plan can be beneficial because you can get the benefit of an increase in property value, and also there are some really good tax benefits, including depreciation.
So then why is it so important that we get really expert help in this area?
Buying off the plan is a really important decision, and it is important that you have a knowledgeable and reliable solicitor that has your best interests at heart and ensures that your interests are upheld throughout the course of the transaction. Buying and selling property, not just off the plan, is complex and each transaction is unique. A knowledgeable and reliable solicitor will be well appraised with the appropriate legislation and will ensure that your interests are upheld every step of the way.
So important to think about all of that, Alicia. Fantastic information there.
Staging rooms to show off their true potential is essential when selling your home. Chris and I will give you a few tips in each room to maximise your profit for minimal fuss.
Probably the first and most obvious tip when selling your home is to remove any clutter or personal items that might distract the buyer. Although these personal items and trinkets are what make your home, a minimalistic styling approach is the most effective way to get the best value for your property.
And they make the rooms look bigger. Another tip is to paint your walls a natural colour. You can see here that we've picked a beautiful green, which adds a pop of colour. However, it goes beautifully with some cushions and some throws.
Lastly, ensuring you furnish your space to show the functionality of it is also very important when selling your home. You need to show the buyer the capabilities of each room so that they too can see themselves living in this house.
Yes, that means we can go shopping.
The master bedroom should appeal to both sexes. When selling, be sure to get rid of anything that's too gender specific. Guys, unfortunately, that's your sports memorabilia, and girls, anything too pink has to go.
Sorry, Chris, that means that these have got to go.
Then so do these.
No! Paint the walls a neutral colour and then choose bedding that matches. Then accessorise it with cute little items that complement your overall look. Remember, you want people to fall in love instantly with your warm and cosy space.
Well, here we are with Mark Kenwell from PID Newcastle and Leigh Macquarie. Mark, this looks fantastic. It looks actually more than just an apartment complex. Tell us about it.
So we're in East End at the moment, which is right in the centre of Newcastle. Some people will know this as being really the heart of what the original mall was. We're in what was the David Jones building.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, so the difference with this development as opposed to the typical apartment development is it's not just a building. We're talking about a master plan community here. But this is really the centrepiece of what's happening in Newcastle. This is the catalyst project for Newcastle's urban renewal.
Fantastic, and I was just strolling around the displays and some of the finishes of the decor. It's just amazing.
They've used international standard architects, and the level of finishes they've gone to, they didn't have to go this far to sell these apartments. The location alone would have sold them, but they thought, well, we've got one chance to deliver on something that's going to have a legacy for years to go by. You know, you've had the beautiful David Jones building here that people have known for so long and been so fond of. And I think what they want to do is pay homage to that with the architecture.
Mark, this is pretty exciting stuff. What are some of the standouts I should be looking for right now?
Craig, there's some absolutely unique apartments I've got to show you in the Perkins and King building. Let me come and show you what we're talking about.
Let's go. So Mark, this is stage one. Looks like we've got a bit of a combination here of some retail and residential. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is the Perkins and King building, Craig. So Perkins Street running here, you might remember the David Jones car park in behind.
Yep.
And the David Jones building sort of came across this whole block. You've got some absolutely stunning residences here. So if you look at this big outdoor terrace at the top, that's a private, exclusive use terrace.
Oh, wow, really?
There's just 2 apartments there that have got those. You've got a penthouse sort of feel about it.
Yep.
And it is just a truly unique apartment. You see this sort of stuff in certain parts of the world. It certainly brings New York to mind, you know, around that sort of Central Park West.
Absolutely, yeah. So Mark, look like you got some retail down here, and this is like benches and places to eat. Is this retail up here as well, or what's that?
So that's exclusive for the occupants of the building.
Okay.
So is this level up here.
Yep.
So you can imagine booking it out for sort of parties, barbecues, just congregating there when it's a nice, warm, sunny day. So you've got some retail coffee shops, you've got some boutiques where you can buy some lovely clothes and things like that. There'll even be a fresh food sort of complex there as well, and a nighttime sort of bar scene, which all just works in beautifully, so you don't need to leave your block.
So Mark, looks like there's something for everyone here. Who's buying these places?
There's been a real spread actually, Craig. A lot of confidence from those who live in Newcastle and the Hunter already, wanting to get amongst all that inner city rejuvenation we've got going on. But there's been a real trend of people coming out of those capital cities like Sydney and Melbourne, selling up for big money, escaping the rat race, and either coming here to retire or for new employment opportunities or just the lifestyle that Newcastle offers.
Well, Mark Camwell, great to have you. And now we're over to Naomi.
Thanks, Craig. We're now here with Matt from Global Home Solutions. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, I love a fun fact. And I do. I'm big on facts. And I was reading the other day that the amount of packets of energy that hit the Earth every hour from the sun can actually power our entire planet for a year.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's out of control. But if that's the case, what is going on? Why isn't the whole world on this solar thing?
Well, they are slowly becoming more energy efficient. Yes, small steps, baby steps.
If I want to take a big step though, if I want to take what a lot of people would perceive as a big step and completely convert my home to solar, there's, I guess, a lot of questions that people want answers to.
Yeah, there's a lot of stigma attached to solar as well. So there's a lot of things that people don't understand about solar currently. I suppose we can clear some of that up.
Let's do it. So, first thing that pops into my head is how hard is it and how long is it going to take if I want to convert my normal, average Aussie electricity-powered house from the mains to solar?
Okay, so first of all, we'd come out, we'd sit down, go over your bills.
Yep.
We'd build a system to suit your home. So it's not the same system for every single
So
home.
oils ain't oils?
No, definitely right. It's all about return on investment too. You don't want to invest in something that you're not going to see a return on. So getting a system that's too big for your home, you'll get a slower return. So we build the system to suit your electricity bill. And after we've gone through that and we set the system up to suit you, it'll take us about 4.5 to 5.5 hours to set up for a normal home.
All right, so I need to know right now, what are the top 3 things I need to think about if I'm going to turn my house into a solar haven?
Well, first of all, you need to look at the panels, the panel quality and the system quality, a good installer and good warranties to make sure that the product's going to be there for the test of time.
So you talked about return on investment, right? How long would I have to wait before it paid for itself?
So we look at anywhere between 4 to sort of 5.5 years is what we want to see. So it really comes down to you as the user of the electricity that you're producing. So by monitoring your production over a period of time, you can actually see where you're using electricity and you can start to change some lifestyle habits to move some of that electricity consumption into your production time. And with that shortens your return on investment and you get better value out of your solar.
Thanks for all the great solar advice, Matt, and we'll see you next week. We're here right now with Olivia from Heritage Gardens. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to be here today and talk to you about one of my favourite things in the world, which is indoor plants. Houseplants are all the rage right now.
They most certainly are.
And I tell you, we've put together a concoction of our favourite plants and they are so 70s.
They are. It's the theme. Everybody wants 1970s houseplants.
All right, let's start with one of my favourites, the beautiful maidenhair fern.
You've probably picked the trickiest one to keep alive, but look, I recommend this in a bathroom setting. They absolutely love moisture, so they thrive off the moisture in the air. Keep the soil moist at all times and you shouldn't have a problem.
Now, this one is another one of my favourites because I haven't been able to kill this one either.
It is a foolproof one. It's called a pothos. Most people know it as a devil's ivy.
And how do I keep this one alive?
Okay, so water this one a couple of times a week.
Okay.
Just natural light. It's very forgiving, so you shouldn't have too many problems. Give it a light cut back whenever it's reached the length that you're after. Pop that cutting in some water and it'll spring roots and you'll have a new plant on your hands.
Fantastic. All right. Now this one has a bit of a bad rap, mother-in-law's tongue. Sansevieria, is that right?
That's right. Now this is a great plant to introduce into your home. The reason being is we're seeing all of the research about how great houseplants are for our mental and our physical well-being. This is the #1 plant to detoxify your airspace.
Now moving on to this one, this is so popular right now, the fiddle leaf. It is absolutely everywhere.
The #1 problem I've found with people in their fiddle leaf figs is they're killing with kindness. Err on the side of neglect and you should be totally fine.
Okay, fantastic. Now these are 2 other beautiful ones which I think come a close second to the fiddle leaf. This one obviously is remarkable with its pink veins to it. What's this one called?
It sure is. This is the Ficus elastica. Most people know it as the rubber plant. So again, don't overwater this one. Don't kill it with kindness. About once a week, some water for this one, and just natural light inside your home.
Wonderful. And what about this one? This feels a little more rainforesty. What's this one called?
It does. This is actually the peace lily. This just happens to be the larger leaf variety.
So this is a friend of the Madonna lily?
Absolutely. And very forgiving. You forget to water it, it'll let you know. Give it some water, it'll spring back to life in no time. It's a great place to start to introduce indoor plants to your home.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all the advice and tips on this, Olivia. It has been such an amazing help.
My pleasure.
Today we're talking tools, specifically the 6 tools that I believe, in my opinion, are essential to any household. We'll start with this one. It is a Phillips head screwdriver. Hardly anything has flat head screws in it anymore, so make sure you've got a good Phillips head screwdriver or a power drill. Okay, next one, the Stanley knife. This is the utility knife, slides in and slides out. It is used for cutting things other than what you eat, people. This one, self-explanatory, the hammer. This end hits, this end pulls things out of timber generally, or off walls, or whatever you'd like. Don't use your hands to hammer things, people. It's a sure recipe for disaster. This one here, personal favourite of mine, is the multi-grips. Like a pair of pliers and can be used like pliers, but can be adjustable. So if you have some of those plumbing jobs that need really big grips, these are brilliant. They go hand in hand with this, which is an adjustable spanner. Often when you have an adjustable spanner on one side of something, the side with the nut, for those that don't know, you'll need the multi-grips on the other side so you can actually loosen it or tighten it to its full capacity. And finally, Allen keys. Metric, imperial, doesn't matter, you'll need them because they fit into just about every household device in one way, shape or another. If you've ever put together a bit of IKEA furniture, you will understand what this is for. That is my 6 tools essential to every household. We'll see you next week.
And that wraps our show for today. Why don't check out our website for other segments, plus extended interviews and more. Join me next week for another location, lifestyle, living. Bye for now.